Okay, everybody. Sorry about that. Pause this video. I was getting text messages. All right. In the middle of Saturn and Pisces, of course. And I'm starting, or actually, you're starting Saturn and Pisces. Uh, where we need to be disciplined and disciplined in our dreams and our creativity, our artistic expression, the disciplined mystic, the yes, where Saturn meets the dreamer. Saturn, the the world represents the Saturn, the planet Saturn. And here's the card that represents Pisces, which is the moon, which is interesting that we have a mermaid in this one. So discipline and of creativity, being disciplined, a disciplined mystic. And then we have the first 10 degrees of Saturn in Pisces with which is the first decan of Pisces. And that card, actually, it represents Saturn in Pisces as well. The Eight of Cups. And all three of these cards are from the Light Seers deck. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the Universal Rider Waite deck. Here's the world from the Universal Rider Waite. Here's what the moon card looks like from the Universal Rider Waite deck. And here is the Eight of Cups in the traditional Universal Rider Waite deck, where we have Saturn in Pisces. And we've accomplished these emotions and moving on to something new, shedding the old emotional, letting go of the emotional baggage from the past. Saturn in Pisces, yeah, even though you don't like um, discipline or to be um, responsible, Pisces, but Saturn teaches you how to be more disciplined in your creativity, being mystical and uh, being very probably escaping things too, because actually he's walking away from things, and actually, or maybe he's done with these emotional things and finding and found wisdom and looking for something new. You can read into this card any way you'd like, but uh, Saturn in Pisces, you know, uh, spiritual discipline or deeply spiritual responsibility, or feeling responsible a spiritual awareness, very soulful. Um, Once you learn Saturn in Pisces, it could also be some Saturn in Pisces uh, could also bring you down the negative path of sadness or being melancholy, ungrounded, the procrastinator, uh, um, quite perceptive, and feeling like the martyr. So Saturn in Pisces, that's the negative side of Saturn in Pisces, being feeling like the martyr. But hey, sometimes you need to learn the wisdom from the past and just let it go, walk away, and begin something new. Go on somewhere, some new quest, new horizon. She's they're both walking to something, to the horizon, something. They're seeking wisdom from somewhere else. They're leaving these emotional things behind that no longer serve them. So Saturn and Pisces, that's what your lesson is for you, with Saturn, the planet of discipline, the planet of responsibility, expertise, and mastery. Yeah, because a lot of you who have Saturn and Pisces are will have mastery in some form of art or music, and share with over time become master and become expert in those this in music and art, or the mystical and visionary, and finding deep spiritual awareness with that responsibility. With responsibility comes great power, so that's what they always say, um, especially with Saturn in Pisces. Um, Great wisdom begets great power. So very powerful Saturn in Pisces can be, if used properly, and you allow that responsibility and that discipline to come to, and letting things go, allowing emotional BS from the past that no longer you can't fix the past. So you can always walk away to find something new, and do things differently. Saturn and Pisces with Saturn and Pisces, Um, so that's what the lesson here is for Saturn, you with Saturn and Pisces. And so yeah, we have the world, the moon, the Eight of Cups. So yeah, maybe difficult if you are can't deal with emotions, but that's what Saturn and Pisces is teaching you to to work with emotions, to change them, maybe let things go. Saturn and Pisces. We have Saturn in Pisces right now, until until February 13th, 14th, depending on where you are. And I will show you when Saturn will move into Aries right here on February 13th. So for the past 2.5 years, we've had Saturn in this in Pisces. And on February 13th, he finally goes and stays for 2.5 years in the sign of Aries. So the lessons you learn here move to the lessons that you need to learn in your Aries section of your chart. So if we go here, so yeah, here's Saturn in Pisces. And then we'll move this to days. Neptune enters Pisces. on January 26th or so. Yeah. And then February 13th, 14th, depending on where you are in the world. This is on the west coast of the United States. So if you're overseas, it'll probably be the 14th, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. Saturn is in Aries. Where discipline and responsibility take on Aries qualities, which Saturn in Aries isn't terrible. He's in fall in Aries. Yes, Saturn is in fall in Aries, so it's not a great place for Saturn to be, but neither is Pisces. So Saturn isn't the best place for Saturn to be in Pisces. And it's even fallen in the sign of Aries for the next 2.5 years until 2028. So there you have it, Saturn and Pisces. Thanks for listening. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian. Thanks to all the new subscribers. And actually, I got some new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining my channel and subscribing to my channel. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian. And if you'd like to book a reading or join my Astro tribe, you can go check it out at on my website. $10 a week per week. I don't think that's too bad. Actually, and you can use the coupon code SALE30, get 30% off. Um, and other uh, perks as well. If you're a Sky Reader, took a Sky Reader class with Lori Lothian and a bunch of us other moderators. I could also send you. Um, you'll be notified of a 50% code, and so yeah, you can get 50% off everything, all my readings, and joining the Astro tribe. All right. Well, take care. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. Um. So yeah, actually, that's Saturn through the water signs. Saturn and Pisces. Thanks. Bye.